Welcome back. We want to wrap up our news review this morning, and we continue discussing what is happening in Jubilee, especially in Nairobi. This past weekend, of course, last Friday, we saw an attempt to come up with the election board in Nairobi for Jubilee. That forum at the Bomas of Kenya ended in disarray after fighting erupted, and we saw some not so good scenes on TV of what exactly happened there. We do understand, even in Murang'a and Kirinyaga, the same happened. You in Kirinyaga?
I was
from Kirinyaga. Yes. What happened there?
I think what happened is that aspirants were given a very difficult task to select or to appoint a election board. Of course, you know, aspirants are on all sides and all different political parties. There are also some alignments. There's one group which was aligned to one side and another on the other side. So there's one group that had come to Kirinyaga with an intention of ensuring that elections don't take place. It is either they line up or not. So when they realize that their lineup is losing, then they caused violence. They started throwing chairs and harassing people, and hence the process aborted for some time, and until it was reconvened again after a few.
Eventually, you managed to
eventually managed to come up with a board of 9, but at the same time, the other side, which had felt that they had lost, also presented another list of 9. So that you came up with 18 people. So you have 18 people in the board, which are taken the Jubilee Secretariat.
You are required to take 9, you took 18 names?
18, yeah, because there are two sides. Personally, I did not nominate anybody, because I don't think a member of the election board affects my performance, no. I thought this is something that could have been done from the honest point of view. My opinion was, before the process, is that the fact that Jubilee had, and we have a national election board, that national election board could have appointed a group of eminent people from which they could have been presented to candidates for them to vet. Instead of asking aspirants to do it. If there's asking aspirants to propose names, the names should come from the national election board. Maybe give us about 10, 15 or 20 names for us to select from their 9. That could have been an easier way to do it. But now the fact that they asked us for the name, each one was nominating people want to favor them. To me, you didn't expect the process to be fair, and the fact that some people have always lived a very unhealthy relationship with each other in the community, that's what caused violence.
Do you think Jubilee just created another headache unnecessarily for itself by asking aspirants to come up with an election board? Because we don't really expect aspirants who are already in competition to agree on anything.
It's not possible.
I think that was too ambitious on the part of the Jubilee. They know the temperatures that are normally around politics of Kenya, and there's this thing about the politics in Kenya where there's a lot of mistrust, and that we should not pretend that when you're running against someone that you are very good friends. Yes, friendship is there, but the issue of trusting honesty and due process to take place is usually a very tall order, and that is why everybody wants their own person, because they don't believe there will be fairness. And because everybody wants their own person, and you have very many candidates, and you're looking for only 9 people, it is very, very hard for each of those aspirants to be represented in that group of 9. And therefore, there should have been a different method of used to carry out this process of identifying the
board, the counter board.
Going to what Barua said, it is it's more or less like a chronic disease, in that if you cause chaos, that's in Kenya. If you cause chaos, it was started by the famous Men in Black. The people have realized that if you are able to stop the process of identification or elections, then you buy time, and a miracle can happen for you, maybe to be able to have your say somehow or another way. Because since that time of the Men in Black, I have seen so many repeated scenarios of the same type. The only difference is that the color. Is the color. The color of the people who are doing it, you know,
and where they're doing it.
And where they're doing it. But it is something that needs to be discouraged, and we have to look for a different formula of working out this. Because it's becoming more or less like a culture. We're not getting anywhere with this.
And even in terms of where it's happening and under which party, Jubilee previously was not associated with this kind of violence, but now you find yourselves that has become the order of the day. Now it's Muranga, Kirinyaga,
Nairobi.
Just before the break, Deputy Governor Jonathan Mweke gave an ultimatum, stern warning that no violence would be entertained. It's because it happened at Bomas on Friday. Were you there, Bwana Yusuf Hassan?
No, I wasn't there. I had just arrived at the tail end of it. But let me respond to the Deputy Governor's statement, because he is presenting as if Jubilee is the main cause of violence in the capital city, when in fact the only deaths that have happened in Nairobi in political violence is from CORD party. In Ruaraka, 2 people were killed in a clash between 2 ODM candidates. Previously, this tradition of thuggery has been set as a standard in the country because of what happened in Kasarani with ODM in Men in Black. So I would say that he should be careful when he's condemning a political party for violence that we must all condemn from across political parties. Yes. And we must discourage that kind of politics. One of the things I would like to say is that the party, the Jubilee Party, has erred in trying to pass that responsibility of selecting the electoral board to aspirants. It is not possible to agree in an amicable way among members who are competing against each other in a cutthroat process. That is the first thing. For example, Nairobi has 17 constituencies. Where do you fit in those 9? Where do they come from? How do you select them? It's a difficult process, and I think the party should rethink on that. The second element, I think, of this is that we should condemn violence, and we must take action against thuggery, political thuggery, be it in Nairobi or anywhere else. For example, the party and the police know who has caused those. The trouble in Nairobi, for example, is very clear. The people who brought about the violence.
Who was it?
The team that came in to overturn the tables, as we saw on television, was the Sonko team that had come in to dispute.
And that just represents how divided Jubilee is in Nairobi.
No, but these are individuals. It's not Jubilee. We should not bring in parties into issues of thuggery and violence. I would like also, even in the case of Ruaraka, this is political thuggery that we should not accept in our country. The fact that there's impunity. What happened in Kasarani with ODM? No one was punished. No one was taken to court. What has now happened in Kirinyaga and Muranga? Nobody has been punished. What happened in Bomas is seen as a routine, normal thing in Nairobi. So what I'm saying is that there is a need for us to identify the leaders of this political thuggery, the people who are pushing this, and the party, and the security, the police, and the public prosecutor should be able to deal with them using our laws.
Yes. And now I want to
particularly now that we're heading to
before you get out of
very
please kindly
nominations and elections.
Kindly, Fred, before you get out of there, it's good to note that my friend is being biased, and it is not really a secret that he is normally allied to one side of that team in Nairobi. Yes. He just said very clearly that he was not in the Bomas of Kenya. But he goes back and says the Sonko team is the one that made trouble. How is he able to tell the Sonko team is the one that made trouble, yet he was not at the Bomas of Kenya? And he's very confident.
I was at the gate. Right, Fred. I was there at the gate.
Yes.
I was coming in. I had to flee. I had to flee for my life.
I'll start with Deputy Governor. Final words. You could choose to comment on that because our time is up.
I will. Yeah. But, you know, we are talking about Jubilee division. I mean, here in studio, you have 2 Jubilee people who are already divided, accusing each other. So the confusion is just too much.
But it plays.
But you know, Mheshimiwa Hassan has said that there used to be violence in Nairobi. Yes, Nairobi used to be chaotic. People used to fight. And then Dr. Kidero and myself got elected. We have brought peace for 5 years in Nairobi. Before 2013, yes, there used to be some chaos. But because we are peace-loving people, we brought peace in Nairobi in the last 5 years under our leadership of this county. Ruaraka was an isolated situation. But in Jubilee, they've done it in Dandora. 2 weeks ago, Starehe aspirants, a young man called Odhiambo was killed in Karioko Social Hall. Then guns blazing all over the place. Then Bomas of Kenya. So, you know, I'm just giving a very stern warning, and again I'll send Yusuf Hassan, because he's a Nairobi MP and he's in Jubilee. Just go tell Jubilee Party in Nairobi that Kidero and I have been elected to keep order in the city, and we are going to do our jobs. We are not going to tolerate any kind of violence in our city. So sort out your issues amicably, so that we don't have violence in this city of ours.
Okay.
Thank you.
Asante Bwana Deputy Governor.
I think I find it when I listen to my friend Deputy Governor here, I find it very amusing that he's saying that they have brought peace and order in Nairobi. I want to say that we saw CORD, ODM supervised demonstrations about 1 year ago when they were trying to chase IBC.
Orderly.
And many people died. Property was destroyed, but the problem is that the property that was destroyed does not concern ODM members, or it is a property say they are not concerned about. So what I'm saying is that the issue of NASA and violence, you cannot differentiate NASA or ODM from violence. They are one and the same thing. They started violence in this city. In fact, my friend Deputy Governor here and his boss, the governor, are not competent to actually offer any warning, because they have not put their houses in order. They are the masterminds of violence in this country, in this Nairobi. And whenever there is violence in Nairobi, please check out, it's being caused by ODM membership. In fact, this game at Bomas of Kenya, I want to assure you, Bwana Fred, the people who actually caused violence, and I want to correct Hassan there, it is not the Sonko team, it was the ODM team that was sent to Bomas of Kenya.
That's propaganda, and you'll have to substantiate.
I'm going to substantiate because I'm giving my closing remarks. So I'm going to substantiate. The ODM is the one who wanted to cause a situation of disorder within Jubilee.
Are you just saying that, or
just saying that?
No, I'm not saying that.
He's being a Jubilee psychopath. And here we are talking issues. There's no psychopathy.
Give me a chance.
Because Bwana Hassan says
no, give me a chance to.
Bwana Hassan here already just said it was Sonko's team.
Don't forget that I live in.
You are from.
No. My friend, I live in Nairobi. And I've been
around. Shambani hawikini kwa mjiji.
Let me tell you this. I've been around.
You can't say you know Jubilee.
No.
You're from Bushago. You can't know Nairobi politics, boss.
I come from. No, I've given a chance.
Okay.
I might come from Bushago, but I'm telling you, the Deputy Governor, I've lived in Nairobi longer than you. In fact, maybe when you're in primary school, I was still in Nairobi and working here in Nairobi. So I know Nairobi. It just I ran for an office in Kirinyaga. Maybe you are more rural than I am, but I want to assure you that Jubilee did not cause this problem. But what I'm saying, the bottom line is this: we need a peaceful, free, and fair elections in this country.
So you heeded my warning. But I'm
no, there's no warning. There's no warning.
You can see there was a lot of wisdom in not devolving security.
Yes.
You can imagine security in the hands of the Deputy Governor.
Yeah, would keep peace.
He would really have sorted out those guys in the wrong way, definitely. That is why we had the traffic marshals in Mombasa the other day being withdrawn by Joe, and there was chaos in the city. We also need to rethink about that strategy. My closing remark, tomorrow, the Tharaka Nithi and Meru counties consecutively tomorrow and Thursday and Wednesday, we will be hosting the President of Kenya and the Deputy President, and I'm requesting, urging the members of the community to turn out in very big numbers so that we can carry the Kenya agenda. We will see politics with a difference this time, not the type you see in Mombasa and City. We will be now representing the whole of Kenya tomorrow.
Finally, Bwana Yusuf Hassan.
Well, I want to think that we would have an interesting week, because the nomination list is going to be sent through. The parties are closing their processes, and I hope that goes well. And for the other remaining nominations, I hope they go peacefully, whichever party is doing it, so that we have a peaceful electoral process come August 2017.
Well, indeed, the nominations are coming up next month with the kind of violence and mistrust we're seeing in all parties across the political divide. We can only wait and hope. As you said, let's hope. So we can only hope that there will be peace during the party nominations. Well, that has been our news review this morning. I thank you so much, Bwana Yusuf Hassan, MP Kamukunji, Mudhomi Njuki, MP Chuka Egamba Ng'ombe, MP Njogu Barua from Gishugu, and Deputy Governor Nairobi, Jonathan Mweke, helping us look at the headlines this morning. Power Breakfast still continues. The hashtag to use is still hashtag Power Breakfast. Joy Mudengi will be in studio with another interview in a short while. And remember, Willis Waburu will be talking to rally driver Ian Duncan later on the show. For now, let's enjoy some music. My name is Freddie Dumuli. Good morning.